Are you ready to move from zero, starting to make $1,000 and more on Upwork, Fiverr, or any freelancing platform of your choice? Are you looking for how to curate together your portfolio and your profile and a proposal that actually meets the needs of your target audience and one that just won't get thrown out of the window? Are you looking for how to go from entry level to starting to become a level 1 or a level 2 seller on Upwork or Fiverr? Then this video is for you. In this video, we delve together, my friends and I, in a short event that we had a few weeks back, to see and explain how we can solve some of these problems. Questions were asked, questions were answered, and I'm sure this interview is going to benefit you.
With a team rather to bring into being, right? And a lot of these freelancing platforms, especially for those in Africa, it doesn't necessarily favor us to a large extent. And I mentioned this in one of my posts, and that is, because someone is already like, this person is messaging from Nigeria, right? And that is why a lot of people, they have to, not have to per se, but they go the route of, changing their names to fit maybe like a name from, the West or something like that when they're approaching jobs on LinkedIn, right? On Upwork rather, or other freelancing platforms. But I don't think the case needs to be, right? And our speakers here tonight will have proven just that, right? And so I started freelancing and searching for jobs, making offers, making proposals, like watching a lot of YouTube videos, trying to make things work on Upwork. But it wasn't really betting for any results. If you've used Upwork before, you also understand that you can also buy something called connects, right? So connects are like your, maybe like you say your currency or your tickets to be able to reach out to clients and make proposals, right? So every particular person that you want to reach out to, you need a connect, a certain amount of connects to reach out to that person, right? And once your connect finishes, you have to buy, a new set. So I've also done that. I've spent quite a lot of money, and it's not in naira, right? So you have to be spending dollars to be buying connects, and I've done that, and I've suffered from that as well. It hasn't worked out, right? And so I reached out to Mr. Tove and Mr. Dimeji, right? Because I saw that they made some. I think it was Mr. Tove that made the post on LinkedIn first of all about how he had crossed the $1,000 mark on Upwork, and I was like, wow. Seeing that I'm struggling to reach out to clients and constantly on a consistent basis, I'm not getting anything. How is it that these persons are doing these things, right? Excuse me, and they are consistently getting results, right? And I was like, YouTube is not helping, so I have to go and ask. I was asking a lot of people actually and asking a lot of questions. But I want to really, really thank God and thank them also as well for agreeing not just to answer my questions, but to do it on a platform like this, right? And excuse me. And then I reached out to some people as well. I just did a test to run to see how many people are also facing this kind of issues, right? And I asked, I was privileged to train a team on design last year in what I called the Layers Design Masterclass on graphics design, about 100 people or so. And then I asked them as well, what do you guys think about, freelancing platforms and making money there? And a lot of people were, messaging in the DMs, just crying emojis about how people have suffered from, platforms like this. And as I was mentioning earlier, the fact that we are from Nigeria, and it's most of us on this call, a large majority, or even Africans in general, is already kind of a flag, right, to people that are hiring from outside the country, right? And so, because trust issues and things like that, right? But people are still doing these things, right? And they have, results to show for what they've been able to get, right? So after Mr. Tobi's results, I also saw Mr. Dimeji's own as well, and I was like, this. I know these guys, right? We've been in the same, space for a very long period of time. So definitely, I can be able to reach out to them and we can be able to do something and get these questions answered, right? So I'm sure that everyone person here also, you came with your own questions and we are going to get to that, right? But in a short while, we're going to be introducing Mr. Tobe and Mr. Dimeji. They will come and they will speak for about 10 minutes individually, right? And then we'll ask our own set of questions, right? So first of all, they're going to speak for 10 minutes each, right? and we've gathered a lot of material from we're about 50 something or 60 something that registered for this event, right? And we've gathered a lot of material in terms of the questions that people want answered and the problems and the issues that people are facing, right? So this is not a space to waste your time at all, right? It's to answer these questions and to also get your questions answered as well, right? So once again, they'll be speaking individually for 10 minutes each, right? And then we will ask them our own set of questions, right? As we'll do a panelist session after that, and then after that, the audience will ask their own questions. So if you have your own question in the audience, you can just prepare them, write them down somewhere, and we will definitely get to them, right? So thank you so much, everyone, once again for being here, right? Thank you so much for. I mean, could have been using this time for anything, right? But thank you for the sacrifice of this time. And I mean, it's not just a sacrifice, but it's an investment, a big, big investment into your own life, right? So thank you so much, everyone. And I mean, let's use our emojis to begin to celebrate as we welcome our speakers to the stage. Can we celebrate using the emojis? Right. So we'll first of all start with Mr. Tobe, right, and then we'll go to Mr. Dimeji. Can we use our emojis to welcome them to the stage? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can show them some love. Thank you so much. All right.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Thank you,
evening, sir.
KD, for being a wonderful host. Okay, am I being heard? If it's possible. Am I being heard?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Very yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So, an introduction. I'm also a creative. I like the way you put it. You're a creative. I'm also a creative graphic designer, and I specialize in making cover arts. You can say album cover art, like music cover art, book cover art, and a bit of like poster design. Yeah, so that's what I specialize in. I started on Upwork in 2021. I think I opened my account in January of 2021, and I got my first gig on like I think September 2021 as Upwork. Yes, but on Fiverr, it took me like till the next year, September 2022, before I got my first job. But yeah, why did I say that? I think many of us have had this issue where we start and then it's usually very difficult to break in. I think Ihoma in the comments said it takes 2 to 3 years. So yeah, it's sometimes it can take that long. But I just want to say that there's this patience that I don't know how I had that patience because normally I'm not someone with the best of patience. But I don't know, in this endeavor, in this freelance, in Upwork specifically, there was just this patience because I knew that this was going to work. You can always do it. I started out and then I always applied. And when I started that, I was not even really good at what I wanted to do. I remember starting out in just creating music cover. Because starting out, I started learning graphic design through posters, but I was not really good at it. And I didn't want to just be another poster guy. No offense, Akidi. So I know you make the best posters, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to do something that nobody really did, you guys. So I looked around in CU environment. I was in Covenant University, yeah. Covenant University environment. There was a lot of artists, or all these upcoming music artists and whatnot, everybody trying to make music. And I'm like, I also like music, yeah, and I don't really know anyone around me who created music cover art. And so I was like, oh, why not? Why not go into this space? Why not be that person that they will come to, even though they really didn't come to me because I didn't have any track record. But that's what I used to start. Basically, that's where my focus. That's where I gathered my focus on. This is what I want to do. So, and I don't even know how I stumbled upon Upwork. I think it was just one night. I was just awake in the middle of the night and I just saw a newsletter or something that year. And I really just was intrigued about what is this about. And I got into it that same night. I opened an account. I didn't even think about it too much. because like I had this like leading, like, okay, just go for it. Like God just like spoke, like, go for it and just put yourself out there. So what I'm trying to pass across is the first thing I'm trying to say is find a niche, right? Many of us are video editors, many of us are graphic designers, many of us are data analysts, but then you can find something that is very unique, like very unique that you can offer. That's not like an umbrella term. It's just something very niche, something very different that can actually make you stand out. And second thing is patience. Like I remember starting out, and then that time, thank God, dollar was still a bit, dollar to naira was still a bit favorable. So starting out, it was difficult, yes, because you have to use like that time, you have to use your allowance and everything. But I remember I always applied every single day, even though I kept making and improving my profile as time began. I didn't start with the best of profiles or I didn't even have any idea on how to write a proposal. I was just sending out proposals, any job I saw whatsoever. Do you get? So I think the way to really go is to just keep it up. Like, of course, now we can now start with an understanding that okay, you have to have a very good you have to have a very good portfolio, you have to have a very good proposal, a very good profile, everything. But then it's that staying power, it's that patience that okay, I tried this time, I didn't get it, I will try again. You get, even though you spend money, because one thing that Upwork will also teach you that you have to spend money to get money. There's no two ways about it because even the way the system works, like Katie said, connect, something they call connect is the currency of Upwork. So you have to actually spend money to make money. And so it's just like it's all a bargain. Like if you can see that okay, if it to take me to spend 100 connects, that should be like $15. And even if I don't get one job, I will buy another 100 connects again. Because one day you will get one job, right? And maybe that job will pay maybe $30, hopefully, and above, or something like that. And then you just keep going. At some point, it will balance out the connect you've spent, and then you'll now be running at a profit eventually. But then the point is just to start. And then just to say something else, this program is about scaling your freelance income. I think I prefer the word upscaling because upscaling means to like increase the size of something. Yes. So another thing I really got from a friend that was in 2023 because initially I started out making just music cover arts, but then I was doing good. Yeah, I was getting jobs here and there, maybe on Fiverr, Upwork, maybe once every month I'll get just one gig, probably just pay 15, maybe $30 max. And then one day I spoke to one of my friends. I don't know if it's on this call, Benga, my very good friend, my brother. So, and he was just, that night, it was just like a random 2 a.m. in John Hall in Covenant University. And he just said how he saw one of my posts on IG and he was like, wow, you that were laughing at that year when I was learning graphics design and UI UX in the room when they were all playing FIFA and PES and whatever, that see how it has turned out now. And he was just telling me, oh, what are my plans to scale it up? And I didn't really get what he meant. And he gave me something that I've really kept till now. He said, you have to continuously improve. Like he called it lifelong learning. That was even before we started hearing about lifelong learning in Dr. Azu's class or whatever. He just said that's he now asked me, okay, how much do you get paid on the random or on an average? And I told him, and he just said, okay, how do you spend the money? I just said, oh, I don't know. At that time, I don't think I was really spending the money, but if I did, I just spend it on probably a need. And he gave me like a formula that, oh, this is how you should spend your income. Now, of course, okay, and maybe you can write this down because this is what I've been using till date actually. That of course your tithes, 10% your tithes to God. Then he said 20% to lifelong learning. Like that means upskilling. Because personally, or I would say to upskill, you have to upskill, right? To upskill, you have to upskill. You can write that down if you want. I don't know. So tithes 10%, lifelong learning or slash upskilling 20%, savings 30%, and then your personal living expenses, how I like to call it, 40%. So what do I mean by upskilling? I'll give an example. But no, let me just skip what I was saying. It was after that talk with me that I started thinking, what else can I do doing cover art? And then that's how eventually I got into book cover art, which is now even what I'm even doing more today over music cover art. So another example, when I've realized something when I was always making music cover art at the time, because I'm just a graphic designer. At the end of every project, the artist or the person always asks me, "Oh, do I do animation?" Because most, if you are on Spotify, there's something they call Spotify Canvas or something, where like they animate something or just a moving picture. And most times they want to animate their cover, and I'm always like, "No, I don't do animation." And that got me thinking, if I could just skill up and learn animation, that is an extra bonus I will be earning. So do you get my point? What I'm trying to pass across is to upscale your freelance, you have to continuously improve. You can't just stay where you are. If you are a poster designer or you're a graphic designer, try maybe expanding to product design or brand design. You get, don't just stay or don't just be comfortable staying where you are. Always continuously improve, or as Benga would say, always invest in yourself and lifelong learning. Now, second thing I would just say is that if we're really speaking about freelancing, yes, if the point is scaling your freelance income, and I don't think our focus should be only on Upwork, right? There are actually so many freelance platforms out there. I wrote down a few. Personally, I'm on 3 platforms where I earn from foreign clients. I'm on Fiverr, which I'm a level 2 freelancer, glory to God. I'm on Upwork, which I'm a top-rated freelancer. And then there's one other one, like a group. They call it Janulo's Talents Club. I'll probably type it in the chat when I'm done. But yeah, there are several others. There's, like KD said, there's freelancer.com, there's designcrowd.com, there's peopleperhour.com. You get, these are all foreign platforms where you can freelance. So if the point is really to scale your freelance income, I don't think you should just be looking at Upwork. Of course, Upwork is probably maybe is the best. I would say probably is the best, and it's probably the most is very user friendly. The interface is kind of user friendly. It's quite easy to understand, although it's very difficult to break into. But I would just say spread your tent. Like there are so many platforms out there where you can interface with foreign clients. And then lastly, before I go, don't wait until you get a gig on Upwork. Seek value creation. Like I always say, now maybe you're trying and you're not getting anything. Don't just sit and say, "Oh, until I get." Around you, there are people that need that's your talent. Like I love what KD does, because I don't know how he has not gotten into Upwork yet, because he does so many projects for so many people around. And I always see his work and I'm always impressed with his wonderful works. And so I'm just trying to say, seek value creation. Like if you're in school currently, you can meet a lecturer. Maybe you are into data analysis. Meet people doing final year project. I don't know how to analyze their data or something. You can find video. If you're a video editor, you can work with a church that edits videos every Sunday. You can work with TikTokers that need to edit their videos, or Instagram influencers or something. But you have to seek work, because how you would even build your portfolio that will help you on Upwork is to actually get work externally outside of work. Because it's always like a dilemma. Oh, how do I put a portfolio on Upwork when I don't have any work? You get, it's like a what comes first, rather the egg or the chicken. Like you get, I don't have any work, so how will I have a portfolio? Do you get? So build a portfolio by working externally, right? And so yeah, you have to build traction, build networks, build connections, and then you can take all this into Upwork and build a very beautiful profile, and that will really help you in getting started. That's just the beginning of everything. So yeah, I think that's what I have to say for now. So thank you. We'll continue. I think Dimeji has to say something as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I can't, come on. That was a lot of that was a lot. That was a lot, but I don't want to talk too much right now. I think we'll just welcome Mr. Dimeji to the floor. So that's, I mean, the anointing will continue. Right. Thank you, sir. You're welcome.
Okay. Hello, good evening, everyone. You can hear me, please, and you indicate.
Yes, you can hear you, sir. Good evening, Chief.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dimeji. I would like to thank King David for the opportunity to speak. Yeah, so I'll just go straight to the point. My freelancing journey actually started a while back. But it didn't start on Upwork, didn't start on any freelancing platform. Actually started on Instagram. Back in secondary school, I was illustrating people's pieces. I would just like get a picture, illustrate, post it on my IG page, and then people will see it and they're like, oh wow, how much? I'm like, okay, enter my DM. I think I don't know how old was I, maybe 13, 14. I can't remember. I was like, okay, 2K, 5K, you know. And then I was making money small, small. That was like the first time I started like making money for myself. I'm like, so it's like this. So actually started with my phone, funny enough. I was illustrating with my phone. Then I remember I was also illustrating for like celebrities, trying to build like my profile, make sure people follow me, make sure they're aware that okay, I do this and stuff. And I remember a lot of celebrities, reposted, a lot of them requested that, oh, do I frame, you know? So I remember my profile actually, like I went from like maybe I don't know, 200 followers to about 2,000 or so. So when I got into, okay, before I left secondary school, I think one of my teachers saw my work and was like, he called me to his office and I was like, do you know about Fiverr? And I'm like, what's Fiverr? Then he told me about Fiverr, told me, okay, you can get jobs from here. Well, like, he made me to strike a deal. It was like, any job I get, I'm going to give him a certain percentage. I was like, so, well, I agreed. I joined Fiverr, opened my profile, but I didn't know anything about it. So like, I didn't get any job. So like, fast forward to when I entered CU, then fast forward. I was just doing normal graphic design, normal illustration jobs for like people. But then it was actually meant to be I can't remember, 2022, I think. When Toby came to my room and I was like, Dimitri, I just got the job on Upwork. And I'm like, what do you mean you just got a job on Upwork? I've been on Upwork since 2019, nothing. And I was like, wow, so it's actually possible. So that day, I went to go and open my account. Like, I went to go and like obviously I forgot my password and everything, reset, checked everything. And luckily for me, KD mentioned something called Connect. So but like Upwork, they've changed their policy right now. So I'm so sorry for the new freelancers. You actually have to spend money to make money, like Toby said. But back then, they give you 10 connects for free every month. So, and like it could accumulate, obviously. So all the while that I have not like applied for anything, I had like a lot. I had like 100 or so. So when Toby told me that, oh, you got a job on the profile, I was like, wow. Then I opened my profile. I saw that I had enough connect. I applied. I was just applying and applying and applying. At some point, I gave up, but I continued applying, continued applying. I actually went back to my profile to check and count how many jobs I applied to, and it was 42. I applied to 42 jobs before I eventually got my first gig. So yes, 42 jobs before I got my first gig. That was like after, I can't remember, this 6 months of trying. But then I got my first gig. I was happy. Shortly after, I got my second, I got my third. And then school stress, I just pursued Upwork. Fast forward to convocation. After convocation and everything, so like I had time to like, okay, let me come back to Upwork. Let me start again. Let me start afresh. So I didn't have much connect. So there's this thing called Freelancer Plus, Upwork Freelancer Plus. It is $20 per month. So they'll give you 100 connects monthly, and then also some other benefits like AI. So the AI will help you with your proposals in case like, and also good in writing proposals. The AI can help you write your proposal and stuff like that. Then, so I saw it and I was like, should I do this? Like, should I actually spend my money? And then the next day I saw a mail, Upwork gave me 50% discount. I'm like, are this people reading my mind or something? So I took the discount, I paid, I said, okay, now let me see what's going to happen. Funny enough, I think I applied for like 5 jobs and I got 3 out of the 5. And I was like, wow. And then one particular client, kept coming back. So that's sometimes I used to tell people that sometimes all you need is one client. Like all you need is one client. Like sometimes all you need is just one client. So I was just so shocked. The way to call the clients my sugar daddy. Anytime he was asking me like, oh, how's that your sugar daddy? And I'm like, guy, what are you saying? So that particular client has spent over $1,000 on me, just on my work, basically. So that's why it's good to provide to give quality work, basically. So I just want to share a few steps into freelancing. So number one is identify your skills and your niche. What Toby said was very true. My account wasn't. My account was Illustrator. I was not like I didn't specify anything. So when I changed that, that was when I started like getting clients. I had to change it. I had to be specific. Right now, I'm doing children's book, anything children's book illustrations, just that's what I specialize in. So I've gotten a lot of clients for that. So you have to specify, okay, I'm a video editor. You can't just say I'm a video editor. You can just say, oh, like short reels editor or something. Just specify to be specified, okay, book cover design, album cover design. So you have to ask yourself, what am I good at? What skills do I enjoy using? What problems can I solve for my clients? Also, the thing about specifying, it also helps you to be found. Like there are some keywords on Upwork that clients just search. You can just search. A client cannot go to Upwork and search children's book illustration. So Upwork has already made it. They made it in a way that if it is in your profile, like you're going to be like one of the first profiles to pop up. You get. So that's why it's very good to apply some certain keywords on your profile. Then okay, so creating a winning profile. Okay, I've already mentioned that. Then your portfolio. Your portfolio is very important. Very, very important. You have to show a variety of works. I had to regularly update my portfolio. I put different types of illustrations, flats, illustration, realistic, just to show them that I can do it all. So they don't need to worry. I'll do it for them. So also, there's something I did that makes my profile also stand out. Certification is something called certification on Upwork that you can add to your profile. So if you have the certificate, it's going to like Upwork will verify that you actually know that skill. So a lot of skills, there's a skill section also on the profile. So a lot of skills on my profile are verified because I have certificates backing them up. So obviously the clients will see 2 different proposals and see that, oh, my own skill is verified and this one is also verified. Like obviously it's more likely to pick me. So that's another thing. Then your reputation is very important. Once you get that first client, you have to make sure that is your best work, and you have to make sure that you get a 5-star rating and a good feedback because that is very important. Most clients, I know for me too, if I want to do a job, like if I want to post a job and I see so many proposals, I'm sorry to say, but it's the person that is proven that I'm going to go for most likely. So most clients don't really give a chance to new freelancers, but see, unless your profile is very, very good, um your proposal was very, very good, then they will give you a chance. But once you find that person that gives you a chance, you just have to make sure you put in your best and make sure you have a quality feedback and rating so that when other clients come and see, they'll be like, okay, this guy is good. They'll give you more jobs. So also there's a project section on your profile, project section. So you can just, that one is like you can just say, okay, I will create an album cover design for you. You put your price in there, $50. So some clients are they don't have time to like start typing their job like requirements and saying, oh, I need a graphic designer to do this and that. So they just go to the project. They just see, okay, they just see different freelancers projects. And then you just click one and order it like direct. No need, no talking, no posting, no proposal, nothing. Just so that's why it's very important to have like a lot of projects that are very specific, because like I said, the client is going to like type, okay, I need like a children's book illustrator or something like that. So you have to be like specific in your project. Yeah, so also some things that helped me, so I'm just giving you some few tips. Some things that helped me. I realized that most of the jobs I got them in the middle of the night when my mates were sleeping, 2 to 5 a.m. That was the time. Like you have to consider time zone. Nigeria's time is different from America's time. You get, so like you have to consider like, oh, what time zone are these people in? So like that's like the best time. Immediately you post the job. Immediately they post the job, you apply. One thing I do is I don't apply to stale jobs, like jobs that have been posted for like 1 week. There's no way, like, just forget it. Anyone that posted, like, okay, just say posted 1 minute ago, or quickly, start typing my proposal, sharp, then apply. Then immediately the client can also view it and then start talking to you. If you wait, so like, there's also a filtering option. So you can filter the jobs that are coming to your feed. I've already filtered mine. So any job higher than 10 proposals, I don't see it because I don't even want to see it. It don't waste my connects for me. And anything less than 5 and then 5 to 10, that 5 to 10 step, if I see that, okay, I have a chance, I will apply. But less than 5, yes, I'll apply to all those ones. Also, there's something I did too that actually also helped. I don't know, I manifested my client. So one day I woke up, I was like, okay, I think I need a client from Saudi Arabia. So you can filter that again, filter your search, Saudi Arabia. So like it was just showing me Saudi Arabia jobs. So I just applied to it and like, okay, immediately I got the job. Then also I did it for Australia as well. Like, okay, I need a client from Australia. I just filtered it to just show me Australian like illustration jobs. And then I applied and then I got one. So there are so many things, so many things. And to be working on a course. I didn't mention it, but like we're working on a course very soon, hopefully. So I'm just giving you a brief, summary of what to expect. We'll tell you how to create your profile, how to sort out your identity, how to, you know, how to receive your payment in dollars. There was something that happened to be that is back then when I don't know, I think black market and the bank, I think it's this around the same price now, but like back then it wasn't the same. So there's something that happened to him. His money automatically just went to his Nigerian bank. I remember him crying to my room. I was like, "Guy, I was like, "Hey, what happened?" I was like, "I was telling you, withdraw this thing to your dollar account." He didn't want to withdraw it. He just left it there. And then something happened. So I started withdrew to his Nigerian account, and that was like less than what was he would have gotten. He would have gotten like times 2 if he had like taken it to his dollar account. So like we'll teach you how to create a dollar account, how to set it up, how to do everything basically. So yes, so I think I'll stop there and give room for questions. So thank you so much, Kidi.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Wow. Wow. Was it just me that was shocked? Wow. Like, wow. Wow. Is someone getting value out of this? Is someone getting value out of this? This is amazing. This is really, really amazing. This is really, really amazing. I mean, wow. Wow. So once again, just because I saw some people joining in the midst of the call, right? So um we apologized earlier, and I mean we still apologize again. I will apologize, right? And every on behalf of every single one of us, right? That we're very, very sorry for the issue that we had with the events, the platform that was to host the event this evening. There was an issue with the time zone, and yeah, so we couldn't be able to start on LinkedIn, so we had to move it to Google Meet. All right, but every single one person that registered for this event will get the recording. That is assured. All right. Really, really sorry once again for how this happened, but I'm glad that we still have so many people in the room, and every single person I know for definitely, right, we're all drawing out value from this, right? So just some quick questions from the things that we gathered from responses that we saw, right? And we'll just ask them to, well, maybe just one to Mr. Dimeji and one to Mr. Tobi. But first of all, before I even do that, can we just appreciate them once more? Can we just appreciate them once more? You can use your emojis and just thank them. This is what you would pay a lot, because I know people that charge for this. And I think I've reached out to some people, so, and just that gatekeeping of knowledge. And I was like, I mean, but I mean, there's also, so that's another thing. So, and once again, so yes, so I had to, I mean, we had to talk, and they were so gracious enough to agree to do this free session for us, about 45 minutes to 1 hour, just for us to, I mean, just get enough value that we can start on, right? But we are working on a full-fledged course. So if you have any questions, please just keep your hand up. Just keep your hand up. We'll come to you, right? But just keep your hand up. Don't run anywhere. Okay. So as I was saying, so they have a full-fledged course that they're going to launch very soon, right? This whatever you're seeing here is just a very, very short piece of what is going to be in that course, right? So and we just have to do something, because the course is still going to be, they're still panel beating and adding a lot of value there right now, but just something to hold body for now. All right. So thank you so much once again. Thank you so much, sir. And we're so grateful. So just some quick questions, just maybe just 2 questions from my own part, and then we'll get to the questions from the audience. But please, if you have any questions, you can just put your hands up. If you don't want to voice it out, it's also fine. You can just write down your questions in the comment, and we'll pick it from there. Okay. So just a few things on what they mentioned, right? That applying in the night. I'm going to be doing so I think I mentioned it here that I'm also on this call to learn. Like I'm their first. I mean, I'm going to be doing 12 a.m. no problem. No issue. We'll be there from 12 to 3, no problem, right? So I mean, they mentioned applying, for, I mean, considering time zones and things like that. There's a particular client I'm working with, and I mean, she's in one of the top banks in the US, right? If the top position there, and I mean, we work together for her freelancing, for her NGO, right? And she's always, posting on LinkedIn around that kind 3 a.m. or so. And I'm like, ma, your Nigerian people are not seeing this thing, but I mean, it just shows how, that time zone kind of thing. So when we are sleeping, people are awake on the other side of the world, right? So if you want to meet up and match up, right, to, receiving, I mean, it's just about positioning, right? So if you want to get clients from that side, then you have to comply to those night times, right? Another thing I heard was that sometimes all you need is just one client, right? Another thing that I picked was niching, right? And finding your own niche, right? And I think that's one issue I've had personally. I mean, it's easy for me with Nigerian clients and clients that have seen my work to just reach out to me and like, okay, King David, we've seen your work here and here. So can we work together on a particular project? I'm like, okay, no problem, that's fine. I have clients on the other side of the world. They're not necessarily seeing everything you are doing now, right? So it's just like that one moment encounter. And then when they see you, do you have exactly what they're looking for? And if not, then I mean, why waste your time, or why should they waste their time, right? Another thing is, and I think we don't pay attention to this enough, is that, I mean, just put yourself in their shoes, right? And what kind of clients would you want to hire yourself, right? What kind of service provider would you like to hire yourself, right? How is the person like, right? And the thing about niching now is that a client exists for that particular part you're niching down to, right? So I heard from someone when I went to the Global Entrepreneurship Festival, Mr. Praise is here, right? One of the chairman, he said that niches are in, or riches are in the niches. I took that home, right? So just a question before we get, so I think I'll address this to Mr. Toby, right? And there's a question here about, all right, so there's a question here about obtaining clients effectively as a beginner with zero experience, but you mentioned, you know, building portfolio and things like that. I think my question is going to be, how, you know, for me as a beginner, how do I, because you mentioned, you know, competing with people that are already in the field, right? And I mean, these people have been there for a while. I think there's something they call levels on Fiverr, on Upwork too. So someone can just see, it's like, you know, your level in a game or something, and someone can just see and know that you're highly rated, and then the person will automatically pick you. So how about people that, you know, are just coming fresh, you know, to the platform? How do those kind of people get offers apart from optimizing portfolio? Because I mean, portfolio can be there and all, but they might just be looking at that rating and what you've done with other people in the past, and they might not be willing to risk picking on new people or new persons to do their job for them, right? So what do you think we can do in that area or in that line to get clients?
Okay. Okay, that's a good question. So first of all, the phrase obtaining clients as a beginner with zero experience, those two things, you're already shooting yourself in the foot. Being a beginner and you have zero experience is almost like you don't even stand a chance. I think the Meji said it best. Like, thankfully, I think being a client yourself, like I've been in a position where I actually hired someone. I've hired a few people on Upwork myself. I think last year or last 2 years, I was looking for a logo designer, and the Meji was the Meji was too busy, or he was doing shakara for me, so I had to go on Upwork. And so being on my own end, being on the client end made me see it from a different light. Like I posted the job. It was so exciting to finally be the one that okay, let me see how this thing feels like. And about 35 people applied. Like, and I realized how crazy it is. Many people, like, I think I checked the statistics from some time ago, like an average job, you have like 27 people that apply averagely in Upwork. 27 people apply to every job averagely. So imagine the clients sifting through various people. Like, of course, you need to really stand out. That not even stress. You really need to stand out because there are a lot of people applying. And the way you said it best, like, you would not want to go for a beginner. I mean, if I post a job and I see a professional and I see somebody that doesn't have any job off, it's even a no-brainer. Like, I don't even know what the person has prayed. Like, it's a no-brainer. I would probably go for the seasoned person. But now this was my own story. I was on the other end and I posted a job and something happened. I read through so many proposals. Now I never knew that people didn't care in their cover letter. Like, I never knew because I know how much I poured into my cover letter. And so many, let's say the 35 people, almost like 20, their cover letters were so horrible. Like, they just said something like, hey, um, I can, something like, I can do the work and reach out to me. Like, very, 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 very nonsense, very, very nonsense kind of responses. And you call that a cover letter. So I never really knew that people, although this was pre-AI times, but AI now has helped a lot. Many people just can write the perfect proposal just using AI. But this was pre-AI times, yeah. But I never knew that people didn't really put in effort in their cover letters. So that's one thing. Yes, you have to obtain clients. Stand out in your cover letter. Like, in your proposal, I would say proposal has 4 components: your cover letter, your portfolio, your pricing, and your bidding. At the end of the day, you bid to be seen on top. That's a topic for another day. But then the main thing I'm focusing on here in this question is your cover letter, portfolio, and pricing. So yeah, cover letter. There was one lady, I can't forget her name, something Sherry or something. And she had zero experience. Like, this was also like her, maybe she was like all of us that most of us that have not gotten a job before. And she wrote a very beautiful cover letter. That was like out of, and she was not even placed up. Maybe she was like the number 31. So I kept going. I've already flagged some that okay, I'll come back and check because there's a way as a client, you see, being a client makes you understand everything. When you read someone's proposal, you can actually choose to flag it or to just say decline. Like immediately, I already declined. Nothing you can do again. So I've already flagged off people that I'm never coming back to you. I've already flagged some, like you can start them. So okay, you come back and check it. You get. So I reached her own and she wrote a very beautiful cover letter. Like I felt like this stranger, like really as if she knew me, right? And she really wanted to meet my need. So second thing I now checked her profile. Like her presentation and her profile was so beautiful. Like this person she don't have any work history on Upwork, but the presentation of her profile and her portfolio on her profile and even the one she attached in her cover letter was so beautiful. And a third thing caught my eye, right? Which is what I call the pricing. Now, because you're asking me, how do you obtain clients effectively as a beginner? Now, there's one thing that happens on Upwork. When you post a job, the client usually puts a price they were willing to pay for that job. So usually, probably as a poster designer or let's just say as a developer, because developers are usually paid a whole lot of money. Let's say a client will tell them, I'll pay you $2,000 for that job. And then that would already set on the job. Now, you, when you're writing a proposal, can choose to match their offer. And that's the most common thing. Just simply say yes, match the offer that they are putting. Or you can actually go above it. I don't know who has that kind of confidence to say they'll do it for a higher price. Or you can go below it. Now, before that time, I never had the idea that someone could actually go below it. But for the first time, I saw it that day. Now, this Sherry lady, I posted that cover, I posted that logo for like $50 or so. That was what I was willing to pay. But then in her bidding, in her price, she said she's willing to do it for $35. And me, I was like, of course I don't want to spend money. And this girl has written a very beautiful cover letter, and I can clearly see that she's skilled. And from her past work, even though she doesn't have any work on Upwork, from her past work in her portfolio, maybe outside Upwork, she's really skilled. So these three things really caught my attention. And at the end of the day, I gave her the job and she did a very beautiful job for me. So what I'm trying to pass across, let me just say it in a concise steps. First of all, make sure you write a very beautiful cover letter. Write a very beautiful cover letter. And maybe later on this talk, or maybe some other time, we can talk about like my own process, but you can probably find it somewhere else. Secondly, make sure you what was I saying? Yes, your portfolio is your presentation is very, very outstanding, very, very beautiful, very, 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 very cute. Just be very, very, very clean, right? Because most people, what they see your profile, they always want to check your profile next. Beginner, when you see a job, just I know it will hurt you because imagine you got that job for that price that the client sets, but just try this in your next applications. Try to reduce the price yourself. If you see a job that they posted for $30, you yourself just maybe say you will do it for maybe you do it for $10 less or $5 less. Just reduce it because that reduction is really what you see them at the same time, but that person 50, 50, 50, 50, but you see one person 35, and that alone already strikes your eye. Like, who is this person that is actually demanding less? So that is like the major tip. Demand as a beginner, just take that blue and demand less because the main thing is getting the job and getting that first very good review. Or this is your first few jobs that give you a very good foundation on Upwork. So yeah, that is what I'm trying to pass across in this question. I hope you got it, Sha. Thank you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Wow. 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 Ah, wow. This was not a mistake at all. Nah, this was That was hot. Yeah, I'm living here a different person for real. Thank you so much, Mr. Tode. Thank you so much. That was such a good and amazing answer, right? So I have one more question, but I'm seeing Nifemi's hand up. By the way, really glad to see you here. So Nifemi, do you want to ask a question before we continue?
Good evening, everyone. Toby
Hi,
has
good.
actually already answered it, so
Okay.
I'm good right now. Thank you.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Of course, you're welcome. All right. So we just have about 10 minutes more before we conclude the call, right? Or 10 to 15 minutes to conclude in after the 10 minutes, right? So does anyone have any question that you want to ask? Right. So, but I mean, if you've been here from the beginning, right? And even if you don't be here from the beginning, the record is going to be sent to your mail. Right? But if you be here from the beginning, you would have seen, I mean, they have dropped so much value and things that you can start implementing even from tonight. So, right. So if you don't have an Upwork account, that is something you can go ahead and just start creating. It is free, right? I don't really know the amount of connects that comes with it these days, but like Mr. Dimeji said and Mr. Tobe said as well, you have to be willing to, and that is something that, excuse me, my mom has continued to repeat over and over again, right? That you have to be willing to spend money to get money, right? Be willing to spend money to get money. Somebody will say there's no free lunch in life, right? So does anyone have any questions that you would like to ask? You can just raise your hand and we will give you the floor to speak. Yes. All right. Okay. So Wisdom, I think you have a question. Says, do personal projects count in Upwork? Do you care to elaborate on your question? Well, I think if I'm wrong, you can correct me. I think what he's trying to ask is, project that you do on your own side. I mean, non-client work, things that maybe you've used a website like Good Brief to get, I mean, design briefs that you can work on your own personal project. Yes. Okay, that's what he means. So non-client work. Yes. So I think Mr. Toby has already said that. Okay. Mr. Dimeji, I think you have to answer. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Do personal projects count? Um, it doesn't count per se, like for Upwork, but like it can be added to your profile to boost your profile. I forgot to mention, I mentioned, okay, you have to have like good reviews, good feedback, so that when clients see, okay, you'll be like, this person is good. There is also another section. There's so many sections on the profile. There's a section on the profile where it's called testimonials, endorsements from past clients, like from clients outside Upwork. So Upwork gives you the opportunity to like send a link to a client you've worked with outside Upwork. So like the person will like give a proper review of the work you did for him. So there is also opportunity for that. So in case you don't have in case you've not done any job on Upwork and you don't have any feedback, so that one is also there. You can just always send the link to the client and also get a good feedback. You said like aside your job. Yes, I have a lot of my personal projects. In fact, most of my portfolio is full of my personal projects because I don't think personally I don't upload my clients' work unless I have the permission to do so. So my portfolio is majorly of my personal work, basically. So yes, wisdom. I hope I answered your question.
All right. So I hope the question was answered. So Wisdom. Yeah, I think it was. I think you
Yeah.
gave it
Can
thumbs
I
up
can I
anyway.
add something?
Okay, of course. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, starting out, even me, you may even know, starting out, if you check my portfolio, many of my first work is just what I call concepts, in air quotes, concept work. You can just sit down in your room and think, if there was a book with this title, how would the cover be? You just make a cover and you post. It's just to show proof of work and how good you are and how how you can play with different styles, your range. So starting out, make sure it's even that's the most advisable thing. Have a lot of concepts, or you can say imaginary work, or if you do personal work, and just have it there, because it's always a dilemma. Starting on Upwork, what do you put there when you don't have any clients? Put your personal work, put your external work from outside, and you'll be fine. And don't let everything the major is saying about certifications, testimonials scare you. I don't have any certifications for any design, anything. I don't have any book cover. Nobody has endorsed me for anything. I don't have any certification that, oh yeah, you did a course in book cover creation. So don't let it scare you. Those things, like what we're trying to say is that no matter the more you do, the more chances you are. Doesn't mean that if you don't have those things, you will not get it, because I don't have any certification, I don't have any testimonials, I don't have any of those endorsements, but God has made a way. So yeah, the better if you have them, sure. If you are pursuing them to improve, sure, because you have to always improve yourself. So yeah, but don't be scared by you must have a certification or something. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So, guys, don't be scared. Don't be scared. All right. Uh, since I'm not seeing any other question, there's one question that's been bothering on my heart. The cover letter section, right? I know that will require like a full course on its own, because I mean, there's so much that goes into the cover letter. But I think personally that it's the make or break section, right? When you're applying, and even me personally, when I reach that part, I'm like, God, up there, what kind of English will I use to convince this person, to give me the job? Because my portfolio is there, it's amazing, and so it is laughing, and I attach my, I'm like, this is good stuff, right? So, but I think that cover letter section, I'm like, what kind of English do I write to this person? Should it be long? Should it be short? Is this person going to be interested in, reading a very, very long and detailed, or does the person just want to see key points? Do you mind or rather, do you mind speaking on that? Like, how do you address the cover letter section, and when you are pitching to clients? Yeah. I think we can start from Mr. Toby, then we'll go to Mr. Dimiji.
Dimeji, do I go or you go? Dimeji, you want to go?
Anyone.
You can go first.
Okay. Okay. So,
Okay.
I don't know. While we're on this call, I had to go and check. Like Dimeji said his own. I had to check my track record. Like and I did the math. I checked in all the on my profile. I've gotten like 16 jobs. Just 16 jobs. And I checked 94. I've applied to 94 jobs and I've gotten just 16. So like the conversion rate or the success rate is just like 19%, which is it's not there is no like there is no perfect way, because somehow, some way, there's always one that will be better than you. But if you're consistent enough, you will be the best at some point in a crowd of people, right? So I had to just check my own rates, and I was like, shit. So even us too, we are humble sometimes. I remember last week, we were talking like, oh, when did we apply? And we both applied like the same day. We didn't even know, and then we're both snubbed. So even us too, it's not every time we apply and we get. But then I like to pride myself, or I like to just say I think I write like probably I think I write the best cover letters. I don't know. I just like to feel like I do, because I've gotten a lot of clients to actually say, oh, they really love what I wrote, but then later on along the line, maybe I didn't meet the qualifications, because they always have interviews and it's very, very serious. But yeah, I have like a 4-step process. And all my cover letters always have these 4 things. I call it like the 4 P's. You can write it down. Your cover letter should be personal, right? Your cover letter should be passionate, it should be precise and professional. I'll come again. It should be personal, it should be passionate, it should be precise and professional. Now, how can I explain this in okay? So So imagine this, and I really got to know this when I was on the client side. Like I said, that person really approached me in a way like they knew me. Do you get? Because the way Upwork works, not the way Upwork works, the way it works is like we are both strangers. I don't know you, don't know me. So the more I can, or you can make me feel like I know you, the more I'm more like I will actually want to speak out with or talk with you. So I've always employed this in my cover letters. Is a secret that I can't reveal now, but I always find a way to get the client's name before I apply for the job. So that my first line of the cover letter will be hello, his name, so or her name. That's always my first line in every cover letter. Hello, if I'm writing a cover letter to the Dimeji made a post, I put hello Dimeji. But like you get, I don't know who Dimeji was before. That's the way it works. But then I have a way I do it. Hello, client's name. You get that first point is very important because everybody will probably be saying maybe hello, or hello ma, or hello sir, whatever. But just calling the person's name adds this personal touch to your cover letter. And I personally know it's very powerful, sure. And then second point, passionate. So, like I said, I would like my cover letter to show that I really, really want, or I'm really excited about your project. Like specific words or the tone of your cover letter would promote that passionatedness or whatever. You can say, oh, something like, I'm really excited about this, or I read through your job post and I'm really excited to submit this letter, Kiniko. Sharp, sounding very passionate, it adds a lot of difference because, like I said, when I read through so many cover letters, I was like, who is this guy? You want to just, like, who are you? You get, so when you sound very passionate, it adds this compassion to it, and you just want to not snub that person. You get. Now, the third point is being professional. Oh, sorry, being precise. And this is where I always get down to it. After I start out, oh, hello, hello, name. I say, oh, I'm so excited. I went through your proposal, this, that. I now get straight to the point, like how I plan to achieve the job. If it's a book cover, and so many times they will not tell you what the book is about. They just say, I'm looking for a book cover for so genre of book, apply with your portfolio and whatever. But sometimes they actually put the book, maybe the book details and the book title, and I'm like, yes, this one I love to apply to such jobs because I can express how I plan to achieve it from the beginning to the end. And I'll not do it it should not be so long. I'll just do it in like bullet points. You get how I plan to achieve, be very precise. And one tip I always do, I said, okay, let me just share it here. I don't think anybody knows this. Dimeji says he always applies very early, and I do the same thing, but I never apply immediately because I'm always also on at night. And, freelancer, you cannot be sleeping. So once I see a job, immediately I rush to like get a sketch or something of you get how, especially if they posted what they want the book to be. I could just get a very rough sketch of how to look like. I look probably is a rough sketch of what I plan to achieve. You get this thing. This thing be like this guy is so serious. Like already, is already invested in your work, right? Now the fourth point is being very professional. It sounds like it's an irony. How you be very personal, like be very informal and be professional. Yes, of course, you can sound very excited, very personal, but then at the same time, this is a client freelancer relationship. Your whole letter has to be very professional. It should not be doing like this. It should be very like, professional, like, be very professional, basically. So that's just like my own process of applying, and then always end with like, oh, a very nice note or warm regards. If the climate in that period is winter time, I always say warm regards, whatever, then my name. You get, so it's a very, very emotional thing, and just you have to take everything into consideration because, like KD said, that's the first point, or that's the first attraction point. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. I think I'll listen to this like 5 times at least. So David, did you want to add to that, or because there's another question waiting at but let me just oh, so do you want to add to that?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just add something small because to be already said what I wanted to say. Especially about the getting the name of the clients. I've been doing that for a long time. So, what I would like to say is, to be, I said it all exactly, but like the most important thing is to get the client to message you. If the client should message you, because obviously if your client should message you, then there's a more chance, like you have a higher chance of getting the job. You've not gotten it yet, but like at least now you can talk to the client one on one. So like that's the most important thing. So at the end, you can always say something like, "Oh, I'm so excited! Like I would love to work on this project. Can we find time to discuss more about this?" Just leave something that will make the client message you. So at least if you can get to that messaging room, then you know that yes, I can get the client. So yeah, that's just what I'll add to what Tobias said.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we don't have a lot of time again. We'll close anytime from now. Probably 8:40 because of. So just answer this last question and then we'll just wrap up. Okay. So the person says, have you been in a situation where the client wanted proof before offering a contract? And if so, how did you deal with it? So I guess what this person is trying to say is that I have a lot of clients, and okay, that's the person. I have a lot of clients, and they reached out to me for some work, right? And the person did a bit, but then the client wanted more, right? So have you been in that situation where the client wants proof of what he's asking you for, but the person has not yet paid? So just closing deals, yes, with clients. All right. Yes, you can speak.
Okay. The thing about this is that you have to be very careful. You have to be very, very careful because Upwork, it's against the policy to actually like do the work for a client without initiating the contract. If the contract is not in place and you've done the job, like you could get your account suspended. So you have to be very careful. There's so many rules on Upwork that could ban your account. So many rules. This will be discussed in detail in our course. So about for the question, there was even one before I knew about the rules and everything. This guy, he told me, "Oh, could I show him a sample or something?" Oh no, was that? Okay, this was a long time ago. I'm trying to remember. Okay, the client just reached out to me that it's been scammed so many times that doesn't know if I can do the job. Then if he likes it, he's going to pay something like that. I think I was just starting, so I was so gullible. So I did the job. I said it to Alpha. This guy didn't respond. I said, Jesus. Alpha. He didn't respond. So that's how guys scammed me. So from there, that taught me a lesson. If at all I'm going to do any sample work or any work, I will always like put a watermark, a very, very, very huge watermark that you can't remove. So at least I know that even if you're trying to scam me, you can't use the design. So yes, some clients do request that you do a test, like a test run. I know the last one I got, I think 2 days ago, the guy asked, "Can I do a test illustration?" And then I was like, I checked his history and I was like, okay, this guy is a good guy. I don't think he's going to scam me. So I did it and I got the job. So yeah, I don't know if Toby wants to add something to that.
Yeah, I think you said it. I think we've all had that experience. Mine was on Fiverr, and I did the work because the promise of the pay was so large, and I was so excited. So that was also gullible at that time, but it was even early. It's just last year. It's just last year, and I did the work. I put watermark, but it wasn't. I don't think watermark was significant enough, and they could probably take it and still remove the watermark. So yeah, many times they request, and there were other times that I did requested and I still did it. And then what I used to do now, I always change it to black and white so that they cannot use it. I always take it to Photoshop and change it, or I'll just trace it, and I'll still put watermark. So I'll just make it black and white and still put my watermark so that they can see how it would look like. then I'll be like, you're ready. Come and tell me, I'll put color for you. So yeah, that's what I usually do. But yes, they will actually request. Many would want to know the proof of work first so that they're sure. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Oh, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I think I really love how real they are with us tonight. And I mean, you won't hear this kind of things on YouTube, right? So I mean, thank God for such a platform like this. So super appreciative of Mr. Toby and Mr. Dimeji tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you.